Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rant. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I want to talk about the Knicks and their firing of Tom Thibodeau. I know you guys, a lot of you guys have already heard this. I'm a little late on the news here, the breaking news of the firing of the Knicks coach, but I was really waiting to see if they were going to hire somebody yet, if they were going to have somebody waiting in the wings that, we're firing this guy and we're bringing this guy in. Like, I wanted to know if the Knicks have a plan, because the Knicks never seem to have a plan. And this is typical Knicks. This is what the Knicks do. They just can't keep coaches there. They don't, it's like they don't want continuity. They don't want consistency. Man, listen, I don't know why they got rid of Tom Thibodeau. The reasons are irrelevant, whether it was the players who didn't like him or they didn't want them there anymore, the ownership, the management didn't want him there. I want to speak to just the Knicks and how this is typical Knicks. This is what they do, and this is why the Knicks will always be the Knicks, guys, because someone like Dolan is the owner. Guy's a crap owner, and that's the facts, guys. I'm going to talk about this video, man, because the Knicks just, like I said, think about all the coaches the Knicks have had, guys. We're going to go through this. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled by all support, man. It really means a lot. Like I said, shout out to everybody out there that emails me and sends me messages. Like I said, guys, it really is truly, it means a lot. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, I wanted to just talk briefly about this Tom Thibodeau firing and how the New York Knicks continue to do what the New York Knicks do. And I don't even really think that people really get, how much having a coach there or having a consistent voice, how much it means. When you look at a lot of the teams that have been successful in the NBA's history, guys, more often than not, they have a consistent roster, right? Like I said, whether you have a core group of guys that have been together for 3, 4, 5 seasons, right? There's different ways to build your team up. There's different ways to have a successful team, right? The easiest way we can think of is to just put a bunch of really good players on your team, right? If you have a bunch of really good players on your team, it doesn't guarantee you a championship, but that's a really good way to become formidable, to have a good team. But a bunch of good players usually will make you a good team. You can have maybe 1 or 2 good players, or great players, and then a bunch of really solid role guys, right? That can help you win games, right? You can have maybe 1 really, really great player, a bunch of role guys, or a couple of good players and a bunch of role players, and a really good coach, man, a great coach, and that can help you win games, right? You can have a bunch of good players and a really good coach that can help you win games, right? There's different ways that we can think about being successful in team sports, right? It's not just the players or just the coach. It's usually a combination of the two, right? The crowd can help your team. You have home court advantage, home field advantage. All of these things can help you win games, help your team be formidable, be successful. Now, we think about basketball and we think about coaching. Coaching in NBA is a lot different than coaching in the NFL, because, in the NFL, there's a reason why you have, and I've talked about this before, there's a reason why you have, a billion coaches on the sideline. You got a head coach, you have an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, you got a running back coach, a linebackers coach, a line coach. You have a special teams coach. You have all these coaches that are there for certain groups of players, right? Certain positions have their own coaches. That shows you that coaching really matters, because every position is essentially being coached by a certain person. So coaching in the NFL, coaching in football, in the NBA is much different. In the NBA, a coach has less responsibility as in the NFL, right? In the NFL, you have 80 guys, or you have a 55-man roster, whatever it is. A lot of guys, man. You have to understand a lot of different facets of the NFL, right? Different angles and coaching, views and all this kind of stuff. In the NBA, you got 5 people on the court. You got like 12 people on a team. It's a lot different, right? A really good player on your basketball team has a much more profound impact than a really good player on a football team can have an impact, right? There's only so much you can do on a football field because it's a much more team-oriented game. Just the facts. Look at the size of the field. Look at the positions. There's offense and defense. There's a special teams. There's different things. So I'm thinking about the New York Knicks now and them getting rid of Tom Thibodeau after his 5th season. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? It doesn't make any sense. Why are the Knicks doing this? And like I said, if the reports are, or people trying to say that, you know, the players didn't want Tom Thibodeau, then I'm not saying that's what the reports are saying. If that's the case, I don't know. You know, maybe they didn't want him there. Maybe that's why they got rid of him. Maybe the ownership didn't want Tom Thibodeau there anymore, right? They weren't happy with the progress the Knicks have been making. And to me, it doesn't make any sense because how could you say that? The Knicks have made legit progress. And like I said, guys, I've been one of those people that didn't want to get carried away with the Knicks. And I said people were out there going crazy for no reason. So I was a skeptic of the Knicks. But at the same time, I also am aware what the Knicks have been doing hasn't been done in a long, long time. The Knicks have not been this competitive in a long, long time. We all know they haven't made the Eastern Conference Final in, 25 years? So Tom Thibodeau has accomplished things on the New York Knicks over the last 3 seasons that have not been done since Jeff Van Gundy. Pat Riley was, coaching the team. So we have to acknowledge this. But the New York Knicks get rid of Tom Thibodeau, and they haven't hired anybody yet. So obviously, they didn't have a plan. They didn't fire Tom Thibodeau with the thought of, hey, we're firing him to bring this guy in, because they haven't hired anybody yet. So there was no definitive plan to bring someone in once they fired Tom Thibodeau, because they still haven't hired anybody. But if you look at the Knicks' history, guys, if you look at the history of the NBA, more often than not, the teams that win championships have consistency. They have continuity, right? And they have a head coach there for several seasons. Or they hire from within. So, for example, when we think about Pat Riley in the early 90s, right? Pat Riley came in, I believe, the 92 seasons, I want to say. 92. And I want to say he was there till, he was just like 95, I want to say. 95 maybe. I want to say Pat Riley left and went to the Miami Heat. But he was there for 5 seasons, I believe, Pat Riley, right? 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, right? I can't remember, guys. But anyway, forgive me, guys. Pat Riley was there, right? Took the Knicks to the NBA Finals in 1994, right? The Knicks were very formidable under Pat Riley, guys. To me, that's probably the best Knicks teams that we've seen since. I don't think there's been a better Knicks team since those Pat Riley Knicks of the early to mid-90s, guys. They were formidable, man. But when they got rid of Pat Riley, when Pat Riley left the Knicks, who came in after Pat Riley? Jeff Van Gundy came in. So you had Jeff Van Gundy come in, right? Like, I think it was like Don Nelson came in for like a little bit. I think it was Don Nelson. And then Jeff Van Gundy came in like halfway through the season or something. It was weird. But Jeff Van Gundy came in. And where did Jeff Van Gundy come from? He came from Pat Riley's coaching staff. So Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy, he was already on the team, right? You think about Phil Jackson, the Chicago Bulls, when he came in. Where did he come from? He was already on the team. He was already part of Doug Collins' coaching staff. He was an assistant coach. So he was already familiar with the Bulls. There's continuity there. He was there. He didn't just come out of nowhere, right? Same thing with Jeff Van Gundy. If you think about the New York Knicks history, guys, they are notorious for firing coaches during seasons, for having coaches, like I said, have to coach half a season. It's insane how many times they've done that. You can go through a list of how many times the New York Knicks had a guy coach half a season. Or coach like 20 games. Stu Jackson, Herb Williams, what was the other guy? Don Nelson, I just mentioned Don Nelson. None of these guys coach a full season. But let's think about this now. I don't think people realize how many coaches the New York Knicks have had since 2000, guys. Or since Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy coached from, I believe it was 96 to 2002. I want to say the 02 season was his last season. So from 2003 to 2025, guys, the coaches, they've had 12 coaches, guys. The Knicks have had 12 coaches in 23 seasons. So you're essentially having a new head coach every other year. How are you supposed to win a championship? How are you supposed to be consistent when you're having a new coach every 2 years? And I guarantee you guys don't even realize this. The coaches the Knicks have had, guys, since 03, over these years. Don Chaney, Herb Williams, Lenny Wilkins, Larry Brown, Isaiah Thomas, Mike D'Antoni, Mike Woodson, Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis, Jeff Hornacek, David Fizdale. And now you have Tom Thibodeau. Think about some of those names, man. And some of these names are big-time coaches, man. Larry Brown, Lenny Wilkins. These are big-time coaches, man. These are guys who are Hall of Famers. Lenny Wilkins was a great player and a coach, man. Lenny Wilkins, I believe, may have been the last player coach in NBA's history. He was a coach and a player at the same time for this, I want to say for the St. Louis Hawks, if I remember correctly, man. But shout out to Lenny Wilkins. But I mean, look at these names. Isaiah Thomas. You guys remember Isaiah Thomas? Remember Isaiah Thomas got into all that trouble when he was working for the New York Knicks because supposedly he was doing some weird stuff. Mike D'Antoni, Mike Woodson, Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis. Remember, Phil Jackson was the president of basketball for the New York Knicks for a couple years. You guys remember that? Remember Phil Jackson tried to bring the triangle offense to the New York Knicks. Do you guys remember what happened to Phil? Oh, Phil Jackson, the GOAT coach. Phil Jackson, everywhere he goes. Man, he was on the New York Knicks and he didn't do a damn thing for the New York Knicks. He's the one who hired Kurt Rambis, right? He's the one who brought in Derek Fisher. He's the one who hired Jeff Hornacek. Jeff Hornacek coached the Knicks. I forgot about that, man. David Fizdale. Remember David Fizdale came from the Miami Heat organization, right? He was in the part of the Miami Heat organization that won no championships. David Fizdale. He was on Eric Spoelstra's staff. He came over and coached the Knicks. All these coaches I just read off, guys, they have been coaching the Knicks over the last 23 years. They've had 12 different head coaches. That's insane. That's no continuity. No consistency there. Think about the teams that win championships, guys. I want you guys to think about, and I wrote this down. I want you to think about the OKC Thunder this year, right? Now they're in the NBA Finals. Great for OKC Thunder, but you know there was a development there, guys? There was a progression there. You know how long the OKC head coach been there? This is his 5th season, guys. His 5th year. This isn't his 2nd year. His 1st year. This is his 5th season there. You know what his record was his first 2 years in OKC, guys? With SGA on the team. You had SGA and a bunch of other really good players on that team when he first got there. And how many? They were 22-50, guys. 22-50 in 2021. That was his first year in the head coach. 22-50. You know what they went the next season, guys? They went 24-58. So they made a 2-game improvement from year 1 to year 2. Did the OKC Thunder fire this guy? Did they fire him? Did they get rid of him? No. Then he went 40-42 his 3rd year. A much better improvement. Still didn't make the playoffs his first 3 years. This man did not make the playoffs his first 3 seasons as head coach, even though you got talent like SGA on your team and other really good players. Still didn't make the playoffs. But did they fire him? No. So now they've reaped the rewards of keeping this guy there and having a consistency, having some cohesion, right? Now, last year, 57-25, they made the 2nd round, and now this year they won 68 games in the NBA Finals, guys. The 5th year for this guy. He didn't make the playoffs his first 3 years. They didn't get rid of him. They didn't have a quick pull or none of this stuff, man. They didn't yank him out of there. They let him coast. They let him work through it. They let him build it up. It takes time. Let's think about the Indiana Pacers here. The Indiana Pacers, they have 5 seasons now. I'm trying to think. 4 years. I think Rick Carlisle has been there. And once again, they didn't have any playoffs their first couple of years. And now they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. Once again, you're not yanking guys out of there. How about the Milwaukee Bucks? The Milwaukee Bucks, 5 seasons. They won 50 games every year. And then they got rid of Mike Budenholzer. Right? After he won a championship, they got rid of the dude. It just doesn't make any sense when some of these teams do some of this stuff. It doesn't add up. You know, you think about the Denver Nuggets, right? But even if we think about the Milwaukee Bucks, they won a championship. Mike Budenholzer was there for like 5 years, guys. Like I said, they were a good team, right? We think about the Denver Nuggets. They won a championship with Nikola Jokic. Mike Malone was there for 10 seasons, guys. He was there for 10 seasons. 10 seasons. And his first 3 years there, they didn't make the playoffs. So his first 3 seasons in Denver didn't make the playoffs. Who the hell is Mike Malone? He was nobody. He wasn't a big name guy, right? Nope. First 3 years, no playoffs. They didn't yank him out of there. He was there for 10 seasons, man. And finally, they won a championship. 10 years he was there. It took time and development with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. You build a cohesion, right? So if we think about that, and then we think about some of the other great coaches and the great teams that have been in the NBA, let's think about the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have been forming for a while now, right? They've been consistent. Steve Kerr's been all these years, guys. They didn't yank Steve Kerr. Do you guys realize that the Golden State Warriors, I'm trying to remember what season that was. I think it was the 2020 bubble year when Steph Curry got hurt. Remember, Steph Curry only played like 6 games that year. You know that the Golden State Warriors that season, they won 15 games, guys? They were 15-50 in the 2020 season, guys. 15-50. 15 wins Steve Kerr got. Remember Draymond Green? What did he do that season? Not a damn thing, Draymond Green. But Steph Curry wasn't there, right? Where was Klay Thompson? Wasn't there still, right? And Steve Kerr won 15 games without Steph Curry and all his crew there. So is Steve Kerr really that great of a coach? People have said Steve Kerr might be overrated. But did they fire Steve Kerr after that 15-win season? No, they did not. I'm trying to think. Then I think the next season, they went 39-33. The next season, in 2021. Did they fire Steve Kerr? No. And then what happened in 2022? They ended up winning the championship, right, guys? So once again, they didn't get rid of Steve Kerr. They kept him there, and he's been there all those years. That's consistency. Think about Greg Popovich. All the years that he was in San Antonio, right? They were winning championships. They were formidable. They were contenders. They had consistency. You had Greg Popovich there all those years. You think about Phil Jackson, all the years that he was in Chicago, right? They kept him there. It's consistency. You think about Rick Carlisle. You know, when we talk about Rick Carlisle from the Indiana Pacers, and rightfully so, very underrated, the job that he's done there. Think about Rick Carlisle and Dallas Mavericks, guys. People forget Rick Carlisle was the coach of the Dallas Mavericks that won in 2011. But Rick Carlisle was there for 13 years. He was there for 13 seasons, man. 13 seasons. So once again, he wasn't there for 2 years. They won a championship. He was there for 13 seasons, and they won a championship in 2011. Think about it. Rick Carlisle, the Dallas Mavericks, they blew a championship in 2006. They blew a championship in 2007 when they lost in the first round. Then I told you they got beat in 2010 as a second seed to a 7th seed San Antonio team. They got upset in the first round. Rick Carlisle was coaching them teams. They didn't fire Rick Carlisle. They didn't get rid of him. Mark Cuban, testament to him, credit to him. He kept Rick Carlisle around because he was a quality head coach. And once again, he understands that things happen. It takes time. And what happened the next year? They won a championship. So he reaped the rewards of leaving Rick Carlisle there, allowing him to coach through these things, not just yanking him out of there. Eric Spoelstra, this dude's been to 2 NBA Finals since LeBron James and Dwayne Wade have been gone. 2020, 2023. 2 NBA Finals with no big-time playing the team. He's got there with guys like Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, man. Eric Spoelstra doing more with less. But he's been there all these years, 17 seasons in Miami, man. It's not a coincidence that they're consistently, a playoff team. Every year he's there. You kept him there. The New York Knicks, 5 years of Tom Thibodeau. He's actually on the best 3-year stretch since the 90s. And you guys get rid of him. Because what, they lost? I don't understand this. His first year with Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Remember, it's the first year they played together. And his first year coaching them. And they get to these guys' finals. So why not give him a chance to come back the next year? Like I said, they're trying to say that the players didn't want him there. Then that's one thing. But what's the plan? Who's coming in? You got to have a plan. They never have a plan in New York Knicks. And Tom Thibodeau deserved another season in New York, especially after this year. His first year with that team. Remember last year they were all injured. How is that Tom Thibodeau's fault? And I'm not a huge Tom Thibodeau fan. I think that he has short rotations and plays guys a little bit too much sometimes. But damn it, the Knicks are actually becoming good. The Knicks are actually becoming a consistent team. They're giving the city hope. This is what Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks did. They give the city hope. Patrick Ewing had hope. The thumbnail of this video is the Ben Stiller tweet that he sent down supporting Tom Thibodeau. And he's confused by the firing. And what, Tom Thibodeau and the New York Knicks did for the city. They brought hope back. They brought back excitement. And then you fire him. So now the Knicks are bringing a new head coach and basically start from scratch now. I don't understand this, guys, but this is typical Knicks. This is why the Knicks are never really going to win anything. As long as Dolan is the owner, the Knicks are not going to win, guys. That's just the facts, man. Tom Thibodeau wasn't a great coach, but he was a good coach. Like I said, he earned another season with the New York Knicks. He earned it. Just that win over the Boston Celtics in the second round should have got this man another season. Making it to the first Eastern Conference Finals in 20 years should have gotten this man another season. The Knicks are a joke, man. The ownership, the management of the Knicks are a joke. It's just the facts, man. Like I said, the Knicks had Red Holzman from 1968 to 1982. A legendary coach. That was the last time the Knicks were really, truly great. 2 championships. Red Holzman was there for 14 years. 14 damn years. Not 4 or 5. Insane, guys. Insane. The Knicks coaching carousel. Like I said, Red Holzman, Hubie Brown, Rick Pitino, Stu Jackson, John McLeod. Then you finally got Pat Riley. Then you had Van Gundy. It's not a coincidence, guys. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.